You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
From Mercer Park in Princeton Township, New Jersey, this is the 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. It's the final day, and this is the final game of the Eastern Division in minor league cricket as the Philadelphians take on the New Jersey Stallions. The three teams who know they'll be playing postseason cricket are set. The Philadelphians as champions of the Eastern Division, having clinched it over the New Jersey Stallions yesterday. The Stallions in a game that you just saw, hopefully, clinched second place with a victory, and the New England Eagles, who picked up 4 points, thanks or perhaps no thanks to the Empire State Titans forfeiting both matches, finishing in third place, and they will finish in third on head-to-head over the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, irrespective of the result in the next couple of hours. So this game, well, for the Cavaliers, is a chance to play out the string, and for the Philadelphians, it's a chance to get one last run in before they go to Texas in the Super 8s. Here is the starting 11s brought to you by Lakshmi, and one in and one out as Chiru Bhatia is left out of the side that defeated the Stallions yesterday, while going in his place will be Wanoi Drysdale, who we haven't seen since he pulled up a little lame during the the Philadelphia Cricket Festival back on September 2nd. Good to see Wanoi back into the side. The Philadelphians, just talking to Liam Plunkett a little bit earlier, just before the match, he said he is excited for this group to get a chance to go and prove themselves on the big stage. As we said, they've qualified for the Super 8s. We'll explain what that means in just a little bit. But the Philadelphians, with the best record in club history, trying to move into a tie for the best record in the league on 16 points. As for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, well, they've played well all season. They were sitting in third. Unfortunately, they will not be playing after today, but here is the starting 11 for them, led by Captain Syed Najaf Shah. A lot of really big boppers in here. Kareem Agor, the former Philadelphian, against his own side, as well as Xavier Marsher. Look out for Kennar Lewis as well. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, the Philadelphians have won the toss. They have elected to bat. And on this pitch, which they have now moved for this match, they're playing on the rightmost of the three pitches that are set up here at Mercer Park. And so Jonathan Fu, the captain of the Philadelphians, is hoping for a lot of runs and perhaps a good score to send his team off into the Super 8 round on a high. But there you see the starting 11 for the Cavaliers. A good side nonetheless, and it's a shame they won't get a chance to be playing in the playoffs, but such as it is. The Cavaliers now making their way out onto the ground to our right. And the Philadelphians, well, it is for them, it has been a little bit of vindication when the crowd, and there was a decent-sized crowd here yesterday, streamed onto the field to celebrate the Philadelphians winning the Eastern Division Championship after finishing in third place each of the last 2 seasons. For them not only to make the playoffs, but to do so in style and clinch the Eastern Division Championship, I think really shows you the fortitude of the core group, as mentioned, Jonathan Fu, and of course Liam Plunkett, who's been involved in the last 2 seasons. You see with 14 points they cannot be caught. It'll be interesting to see how Jonathan Fu and how the Philadelphians decide to play this. And you know, they as we said, they've already clinched the top spot in the Eastern Division, but it will be most likely, it'll probably just be business as usual. You just want to make it through the game. You don't want to see anybody hurt. The Super 8s portion of the playoff will begin on the 27th. We'll explain the playoff format. Each of the 4 division champions advance directly to the Super 8 playoff in Texas, which will begin September 27th. There are 9 other teams that can advance into the 4 other spots via wildcard playoffs. Each division has a wildcard playoff. It'll be the New England Eagles and the New Jersey Stallions next week. And we'll fill you in on the other matchups as well as we go around the grounds a little bit later on in the broadcast. But until then, We hope you'll pull up a chair and enjoy another few hours with us as we wrap up the league phase in the Eastern Division. And there is a good-sized crowd in the tent to our right. We're set to watch a few of them clad in the yellow of the Philadelphians, a couple clad in the green of the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. Always nice to see here at Mercer Park. It'll be Garanchu Sharma and Ryan Scott who will take the middle for the Philadelphians. And for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, it is the captain, Najaf, who will open proceedings. And he will bowl from the dog park end right in front of the commentary position. The Philadelphians set the cap off their most successful season in history. And here we go. And Sharma starts things off with a cut to the near side, or rather a clip to the near side. And he's off the mark, first ball. I'll tell you how they did in just a moment yesterday. It's been Rajeep Darbar and Ryan Scott. You see Ryan getting set, but it's been Scott and Darbar who have been the openers the last couple of matches, and perhaps with this game not really affecting anything on the table, it's a chance for Jonathan Fu to experiment with Garanchu Sharma up at the top. And if you remember last year, it was a team that really kind of struggled. It almost took them more than half a season to come up with the opening. And they had used Syed Abdullah for a while. They had used Milan Kumar as the captain. He'd used himself. Punched to the offside, but not far enough to score. Ryan Scott, coming over from the Michigan Cricket Stars, has been the biggest offensive contributor, making 31 yesterday. He has 2 half-centuries to his name, the only half-centuries in what a Philadelphians team that has relied very heavily on its bowling attack, and we'll see that in the second innings, of course. But this is a team that defended 51 on this ground against the Manhattan Yorkers back in August. Cut away nicely by Ryan Scott. And there's another one. Ryan Scott is off the mark. Philadelphians just 1 loss this season, coming last Monday against the New England Eagles. 6 victories, 2 games spoiled by the rain. And the first time they had lost to the Eagles. We'll take a look at the history in just a moment of these two teams. And that's it. And Sharma has been bowled by Shah. It just clipped off the off stump, and an early wicket for the Cavaliers. And so Sharma scores just 1 off of 2 balls that he faces, and the Philadelphians lose an early wicket. They're 2 for 1. So perhaps the Garanchu Sharma experiment will not last. Good ball by Najaf Shah. And coming down the track, yep, just catches that one flush, pops the off bail off. And Sharma heads back to the dugout. So Shah with a big first over wicket. This is the 5th game that these two teams will have played in. They were scheduled to have played on August 7th here, but the game was rained off. Prior to that, these two teams have split the 4 meetings between them. August 8th of 2021, the first home game by the Philadelphians, won by Philly on a Chris Pedanton 74 from 52 to lead the Philly to a victory. Somerset won the return match on September 11th of 2021. Then last year, Philadelphians won on the Super Over. That was July 4th weekend down at Church Street Park, a game where Philadelphia only scored 6, but Liam Plunkett restricted them to 4 for the victory. Push to the offside. One ball left. And that one left alone by the batter. And that ends the first over. Garanchu Sharma, a victim by Shah in that first 6-ball set. At the end of 1, the Philadelphians 2 for 1. So Ryan Scott set the face. It's Adalbati who will come in. Clipped off the pads, an appeal. But no dice. And the score remains 2 for 1. We mentioned the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. They had that 3-week break along with the New Jersey Stallions. But for the longest time, they were in a solid 3rd place. And the victory yesterday kept them very much in play, and perhaps a bit unfortunate that circumstances out of their control. And if you've not been following along, the Empire State Titans elected to forfeit their final 2 games of the season up in New York, up in Schenectady, New York. They were scheduled against the New England Eagles, and those 4 points give the Eagles the playoff spot. And, quite an unfortunate situation, but such as it is. And a new bat being brought out for Ryan Scott. He wrenches a new toothpick from the ashes. Although, to be fair, that's more of a baseball term. That's more of a scimitar. We mentioned Scotty, how well he's done this season for this Philadelphian side. He knows how to hit centuries. In fact, his first season with Michigan, he hit 2. 992 runs in 35 matches in minor league cricket. And I don't know if that includes the 1. I think it does. What an addition to this Philly side. That one is hit well down the ground, but right to the man at long off, and they'll get a run out of this. That is Mario Rampersad, who has joined Ryan Scott in the middle. Rampersad, who last year was the first choice wicketkeeper, as you see some fans here in the metal bleachers along with some of the players, and some of the players from the last match, the Manhattan Yorkers, sticking around. Pushed forward by Mario Rampersad. Two guys who started minor league cricket in the Pacific Conference. Mario Rampersad coming across from the St. Louis Americans a season ago to the Philadelphians and played very well behind the stumps. And they haven't used him as much. They've used Jonathan Fu as the keeper, and he's proven his worth. Push to the offside again, no run available. Good over by Adil Bhatti. And Bhatti yesterday didn't pick up a wicket, but only allowed 3 runs in his 2 overs. Shah, the captain, 1 for 6 in 3 overs of work. Both of the 2 bowlers who are opening today for the Cavaliers had maiden overs yesterday. Clipped again off the legs by Rampersad. And he goes off the mark. So the Philadelphians, awaiting them in the Super 8, will be the Atlanta Lightning, with a pretty power-packed lineup when you think of Umik Chan and Fani Simhadri among them. And whoever wins the Eastern Division playoff and whoever wins the Southern Division wildcard playoff as well. Well, that one kept low and just got by everybody, and Pranav Rao, the former Philadelphian, making a nice stop with his rear end. Only 2 runs off the over from Adil Bhatti at the end of 2. The Philadelphians are 4 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So Najaf will continue from the dog park end. A hesitant single, but one nonetheless. And Mario Rampersad went tumbling. He looked like Pigpen for a minute, raising up all that dirt. I'll tell Mario Rampersad that this game ultimately won't change the standings, because he's a professional cricketer and he will give it all. With the Cavaliers doing a good job here on the power play to restrict, first of all, to restrict Ryan Scott, who's only faced 5 balls so far. But dealing with early pace. Up. So much for dealing with Ryan Scott. He dealt with that delivery and sends that one halfway to the golf course. A massive 6 from Ryan Scott, the first of the game. And you know, every once in a while you see a shot like that hit, and even you feel good about it. That was right off the meat of the bat from Ryan Scott. And a no-doubter. And the Philadelphians waste no time going to double digits. Tried for another swing, but that one kept low. And That's something I've really noticed about all three of these pitches, is that the ball tends to keep low when it's a Yorker length, it seems like. Of course, if you bowl short, it almost shoots up like a super ball. But that's true of all three pitches I feel like I've seen here. And it's interesting how, I guess it's almost like watching a bowling alley. They all have different, they all react differently. It's just a matter of, as a batter, just kind of learning where your spots are. But the human computer, I don't know that it can calculate it as fast as some of these guys bowl. Cut away to the offside. Another run for Ryan Scott. Plays very smartly. We'll look at the numbers on him momentarily. Scott, the team leader in runs scored. .191 runs so far this season, going at a strike rate of 136. And on this Philadelphians team that really hasn't put up big numbers on this pitch, you know, his high score of 58 is actually pretty impressive. Pushed forward by Rampersad, pushed to the offside by Rampersad. And there is no run. One ball remaining in this third over. All told, just that one maximum so far. And if you're shy, you can't be terribly unhappy other than that. But speaking of the context of this match, they want to go out on a win and go out above 500. And this one is driven well by Rampersad, and this one's going to find the great beyond of the rope, and another 6. There was Rampersad coming through, stepped into the wicket, and hit a nice 3-iron out towards the stand. So 2 6s from the Philadelphians in this over. After 3, they're 18 for 1. Plenty of experience out in the middle for the Philadelphians. Mario Rampersad, who turns 31 in November, as a 16-year-old, played in the Barbados under-19 side. Has played in 14 first-class matches at an average of 17.1. Top score there was 36. Playing for Barbados in that Windies tournament. And on the other end, Ryan Scott, originally from Kingston, Jamaica, just turned, or is about to turn 28 on September 25th. So next Monday, actually. Played in 2 T20 internationals for the USA, playing against Ireland in that Christmas tournament that ultimately was truncated due to a COVID outbreak in the Irish camp. And my oh my, what he has brought. Gajrang Singh to bowl for the first time from the Edinburgh Road End. Oh, I got him. That was a foolish ball, and Ryan Scott was not expecting it whatsoever. And Ryan Scott is not allowed to do his thing, as Gajrang Singh, on his very first ball of the afternoon, sends the bails flying, and Mr. Scott back to the dugout, and Philly are 18 for 2. watching this live, I thought to myself, this was almost ticketed to be a full toss, and he was expecting this to seam inwards was Ryan Scott, but nope. Caught the middle stump and sent it sideways into the leg stump, and so Ryan Scott departs after making just 9 runs from 9 balls faced. And so the 2 wickets have been clean bowled. Shah taking one and Ganjanan Singh taking one, and now here is one Liam Plunkett. Liam Plunkett, the coach, and a man who we've said in earlier broadcasts with Lenny Achaibar and Matthew Achaibar that he really looks focused this year. I think he came to the Philadelphians not really knowing what to expect. You know, he gives it his all, whatever he does, and I know he's a professional. But this year, and especially with the way that this team has performed, he really seems dialed in. And having a good season with the San Francisco Unicorns of Major League Cricket, you could tell he was itching to get back. And here he is. And probably a little bit earlier. I don't know that he necessarily wanted to play in the power play. They've been batting him a little bit lower, it seems like. They batted him, he didn't bat yesterday against the Stallions. And he clips this one to the onside, no run. And he's missed a fair bit of the season. In fact, this is only his 3rd time at bat. He only has 7 runs so far. They haven't needed his batting expertise. And there is another one. That's another one, and Liam Plunkett is Gajran Singh's 2nd victim. It is a plum LBW. He didn't even wait for Colin Edwards' finger to go up. He was off celebrating, and the Philadelphians are struggling here. They are 18 for 3. Yep. Just under the knee roll. And Liam Plunkett, here's your hat, what's your hurry? And Singh has taken 2 and 3 balls. Well, Plunkett, again, will finish the regular season with just 7 runs scored. And mind you, he was missing for a handful of games earlier this year. Actually missing for 2, playing at the Florida Masters. And the team still won both games without him. Here's Devashwari Prasad. Prasad yesterday was in the lineup but was not called upon to bat. And Ganjanan Singh is off to a flyer. 3 wickets inside of 4 overs for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. In this, what will be their last game of the minor league cricket campaign for this year. They are active in other competitions. Prashwad plays that one to the near side, not far enough to attempt the score. Another dot ball. We've already seen 1 double wicket maiden this afternoon. Can't we see another? Up in the air, but nowhere near Rao or Xavier Marshall, who is playing in the short cover region. And defended by Prashad. A double wicket maiden for Ganjanan Singh. Philly in early trouble. At the end of 4, they're 18 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
A little bit later, we'll check in on the DAFA news around the grounds, the scores happening around the country. On this final full day of the regular season, there is one match tomorrow between the East Bay Blazers and Silicon Valley Strikers, which will not have an effect on the top two spots, and actually won't have an effect on all three because they'll have been decided by tomorrow. Clipped off the legs of Rampersad as body continues from the dog park end. But we'll catch you up a little bit later on. Body giving up just 2 runs in his first over. Mario Rampersad. This Philadelphians team, after an 8-5 finish in 2021, where they came up just 1 game short of the playoffs, and then last year, where they were in it till the final weekend and finished 7-7. That victory yesterday felt really good, I'm sure. I think he just got a piece of it. Ralph found it in between his legs off his fingertips. But a lot of teams do great work in promoting their teams and in promoting really their brand and getting the local teams excited. The Philadelphians have done such a fantastic job from day one. Their ownership group, which is locally based in the Philadelphia area, have done everything they can to bring out players who and fans who obviously are fans of cricket, but aren't fans of cricket. And in many cases, they have attracted people who had never seen a live cricket match, maybe even had never seen cricket before. And that's the one side of the coin. That one is hit in the air, the cry for catch, but it's over the drawn-in infield. And it will, did it make it to the boundary? It did. It's 4. A lovely shot to backwards square. And even in this thick grass, it had enough steam to make it to the rope. So Rampersad with his first boundary, and that takes him to 13. On the field, even though the personnel has changed, from day one, the players and the staff have made it feel like a family. And in a competition where there is a fair bit of turnover, they've done a very good job of keeping guys on for 1 or 2 years. And Jonathan Fu has been probably the largest asset of that. But even Liam Plunkett sticking around for 2 years. I know if Milan Kumar, I think if he would have been drafted a little bit closer to the East Coast, he probably would have remained. Laced with power all the way to the boundary for another 4 for Mario Rampersad. His second of the over. Body gives up 10, and the Philadelphians with a mini fight back here. They go to 28 for 1. 28 for 3, rather. That was a good shot by Rampersad to end the over. 28 for 3 after 5. So a little bit of cloud cover starting to roll in to Mercer Park here in Princeton Township, New Jersey. Or Princeton Junction, New Jersey. Now one knocked back to Ganjanan Singh, coming off of a double wicket maiden. And Devashwari Prasad on the strike. There were calls, there was like a 40% chance of showers. As Rampersad clips that one off the pads, they'll take one. Rather, that's Prashad who gets the run. And hoping that those stay away so that we can get this game in. And mind you, the game won't have the result, won't change the top three. As we said, the New Jersey Stallions and the New England Eagles will face off next week for the wild card spot amongst the Super 8s. That one sails wide. Colin Edwards spreads his wings, his massive wings. What I love about the umpires, they're just good. You know, they're good characters. And when I was just talking to Colin in the parking lot very briefly, but you know he enjoys doing this just like we all do, being a part of it. Prashad cuts that away, but again, right to the infield cordon. They are, it's like they're catching up on the score bug there. Oh, that one is hit high and deep, and nobody's even going to bother with that one. It is another 6. Off the bat of Garanchu Sharma. A big, big strike from him. And that one was, again, hit pretty well and pretty deep. And so Singh, who looks so good in the last over, gives up his first maximum. Prashad again, this time he goes down with another sweep, and it's the same result. Back-to-back jacks for Deveshwari Prashad. And things getting away from Singh. It was a Yorker ball, bit of a length there, and this time he went down and went fishing and sends that one out into the brambles. There was a wide ball in there too, so we have one more ball left. But all of a sudden, 14 runs off this over by Ganjanan Singh. It was a complete 180. Prashad yesterday did not bat, so he is getting his kicks in while he can. One ball left in the power play, and the final analysis of this will actually be pretty good considering where they were sitting a couple overs ago. And this one's in the air. They're claiming the catch. Did he get it? He did. Well, he had 3 bites at the cherry, and on the third one, he swallowed it and spit out the pit. What a catch! My goodness. He dove forward. He didn't catch it cleanly at all. And here it is, laced up in the air. Let's count it. He is almost perpendicular to the ground, or parallel to the ground. Hits his right hand, bounces straight up in the air, and how on earth that did not hit the turf, how that did not hit the soil here at Mercer Park, I do not know. But the question is have they... Well, either way, that's the end of the over. And in fact, have they ruled that not a catch? Here it is again. I'm sorry. I thought that they had done this as a catch, but we're going to see this again. We're going to look at it one more time. So this isn't the point here. He's going to bat the ball almost in the air. Oh, this is brilliant. I love this. So he, with the right foot, with the right hand, that may have hit the ground at that point. This, for sure, I think, is where it may have hit the ground. Yes. I think he traps that. I think he traps that. It's kind of 50-50. It is very hard to make that catch. I think there are 2 points there where the ball may have hit the ground, but Prashad stays alive. They are 41 for 3. So a very eventful end to the power play, to say the least. That's a difficult call. That's a difficult call in person, and I for sure initially off the naked eye thought that he may have made that catch. But here is Zafar, who comes in and surrenders a wide off of his first ball. As Rampersad comes in, and that one is touched to third man, and they'll come through for a single. And they're still reviewing that to our right. 43 for 3 meanwhile, and so how will that change things? I thought on the naked eye, and of course I'm sitting maybe about a good 100 feet from where the action happened, and I have 4 eyes, and none of them quite work very well. But it looked the naked eye like it was a catch. That one is a square cut, and another run scored. 44 for 3. As Prashad now goes to 21. They're still talking about it. And the Cavaliers, I think, and rightly so, they're convinced that the catch was made. And I you know, that's again, that's very difficult to make that call, as that one again is cut to the offside. They're going to take 1. They're going to come back for 2. The play is going to be made at the other end, and it appears they did get back in time. It appears that Rampersad did get back for the second. It would have been close, but Rampersad now goes to 13 with 3 balls remaining. And the Philadelphians, who had lost 3 batters in the top 3 in the first 4 overs, now have climbed back. Turns this one around, and Rampersad not interested in testing the infield arm. 46 for 3 still, and 2 balls left in over number 7. Arm ball got him. No doubt about that one. Mario Rampersad is gone, and he becomes the 3rd Philadelphian to be bowled. And Zafar picks up his first wicket to close out the 7th. Or come close to it anyway, and they're 46 for 4. Mario Rampersad had a good little cameo, but this was an in-swinger, and that one swung in the air, too. A lot of spin, and Rampersad didn't get a beat on it. And you see him shuffling his feet. He comes forward. Nope. Right down Broadway, takes out middle stump. 46 for 4 with 1 ball remaining in the 7th over. And the Philadelphians will now turn to Raj Nanan. And Raj Nanan has been known to get a little fancy with the bat and help, alongside Jonathan Fu, steer his team to the division championship winning victory yesterday. 27 not out off of 17 balls. That included a 4 and 2 sixes. Now look at the Philadelphians and how they've done in terms of their numbers. They had, of course, they needed 112 to win yesterday and got it. They were bowled out in 10 overs by New England for 63 rather, in 10 overs. 142 for 9, which was a winning score. So they know, and of course, that was at Hatfield on an AstroTurf pitch. The most they've scored batting first away from that is 116. Defended back to Zafar, and that ends the 7th over. He picks up a wicket and gives up just 4 in the process. 7 complete. The Philadelphians 46 for 4. So 46 for 4 as Devashwari Prasad continues proceedings alongside Raj Nanan on the opposite side. There's an appeal, but no dice off the top of the pads. Oh! I thought there might have been an edge there, and Rao juggled it, but did not make contact. This is Sunny Patel, by the way, who's in for the first time this afternoon from the Edinburgh Road end. Good ball. Prasad comes forward right through to the keeper. Sunny Patel in his 9th game, 9 wickets taken. Off the toes of Prasad, another single. And Patel has bowled 5 good balls here. The Philadelphians run a ball. Patel waiting for some of his compatriots wearing the black and green to shift. They'll bring a slip in for Raj Nanan, who clips it to the leg side. And the over finishes on a run. They are going a run a ball after 8 overs. From Mercer Park, the Philadelphians are 48 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So some spin into the attack now, and Raj Nanan as Zafar continues. They've taken 1 for 6 so far. Nanan now goes on to 2. Call for a catch, but it may have hit glove and the ball may have hit the ground anyway, so nothing doing, but a good ball by Zafar. Went to flay that one as that one tailed away from the off stump, but another good ball by Zafar. As you peek inside the Cavaliers tent, that one is struck well down the ground. That'll bring the 50 up for the Philadelphians in the 9th over. And Devashwari Prasad, the man to get it, as he goes to 23. And that brings the left-hander Raj Nanan back to strike 50 for 4. Clipped off the legs of Nanan, no run. A 28-run partnership between Prasad and Rampersad before Rampersad had to go. Bowled by Zafar. And a dot ball ends the over. 9 complete. The Philadelphians 50 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
We continue on here, and that one is just by the off stump as Sonny Patel continues from the Edinburgh Road end. And that one golfed into the ground, but directly behind to Xavier Marshall, waiting in the slips. A slip, a third man. A short third man, it must be said. Playing at the edge of the circle. Goes down and hits that one to backward point. And Prashad now on to 24. Prashad toddling along and a run of ball. And we'll check on the scoreboard in the 10th over, give you all the things from around the ground. A lot of action happening, and the teams that will make up the field in the postseason will become clearer as Nanan takes a run. 52 for 4 now. A lot of action happening out in the Pacific Conference. That one is high in the air, and it will drop safely. That was a thick top edge. Prashad's run, by the way, or that was given as a leg by, so he didn't get it, or rather Nanan's was given as a leg by. That one is skied in the air. A couple of players are there. One says he has it, and doesn't. Hit him right in the fingers and dropped safely to the ground. And he pulled a Lucy Van Pelt. Perhaps he lost that one in the clouds. But that was a very difficult catch. He came over maybe about 3 steps over, and that was a very difficult catch. And that ends the over. We're at the halfway point. The Philadelphians 53 for 4. So former Philadelphian Kareem Agor comes into the attack for the first time from the dog park end. And a little clip cut away by Dev Prashad. Kareem Agor, the guy who really ingrained himself into the Philadelphians in his first 2 seasons here. That one swatted away. They'll take a run off of this. So Prashad goes to 26. And was called upon to bowl a fair bit. He bowled in 14 games for the Philadelphians in his 2 seasons and took 7 wickets in each of the 2. He has taken 12 wickets so far, so he's been a very strong part of this New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers attack. Short ball, and that one is pulled away. It will be 2. Yep. Good job by Raj Nanan. And did well on a good ball, it must be said, by Kareem Agor. The Philadelphians now move to 56 for 4 as Gore continues around the wicket. Another slap shot by Raj Nanan. They'll take 1. Some good batting here, and we're coming off of a match where the target was set at 112, and I'll tell you what the projected score is. It's 104. off the toes of Dev Prashad. No run. When we come back in the 11th over, we'll go around the grounds for Dafa News. For real this time. Reaches out and ends the over with a dot ball. From a breezy Mercer Park, 11 complete. The Philadelphians, having won the toss and elected the bat, are 57 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So let's head around the grounds thanks to Dafa News and take a look at all the things that have happened today, not just here at Mercer Park, but also everywhere else. Of course, the big story, the Empire State Titans forfeiting the second game as Nanan takes a single off of Sonny Patel, who's in for his third over. And the New Jersey Stallions clinching their spot in the wild card round of the East with a 34-run victory earlier here in the match we brought you at Mercer Park over the Manhattan Yorkers. In the South, as this one is worked away to the onside, and they're going to take one. They thought about a second, but they're not going to chance it. And Prashad gets another run. He goes to 27. In the South, we think is a rain delay in Fort Lauderdale, and that is what washed out the game yesterday. The Raptors 109 for 2 after 14, and that score has been stuck for some time. As Nanan pushes forward, and there is no run on that occasion. The Lions, it appears, I think even with this, even if this plays to a result, will end up. That one is hit well by Nanan through the air, and it's gone for a maximum. And Raj Nanan joins the party. He doubles his score with one swing of the bat. Got down low. It was a Yorker-length ball, but he golfed it and did so with a good amount of power out towards the stands. Philadelphians now 65 for 4, and Nanan now rockets to 12. So what I was about to say is the Lions appear to have clinched the second wildcard spot. They'll play the Atlanta Fire to determine who joins the Atlanta Lightning as a catch. Karima Gore. No bubble on that one, folks. Karima Gore takes it. And Raj Nanan is dismissed. Here it is once again, a little chip up over the top. And Karima Gore, yep, he got it. He had it in his hands when he hit the ground. What a catch by Karima Gore, and he does his old team dirty. Nanan goes for 12 from 12. Philadelphia 65 for 5. Sonny Patel gets his first wicket. And he now is 1 for 12 with one ball left in the 12th over. See Captain Najaf duly pleased. A fine catch. That might be a Dafa News top 10 play. And now we see the danger man, Jonathan Fu. Boy, do I love watching him play. This year, I think, has been a renaissance. I think he struggled a little bit last year, and we'll quantify that with some numbers in just a moment. But it wasn't needed as much because they had so many good hitters. He dropped from an average of 58.14 in his first season with the Philadelphians down to 32.3. 407 ones in 2021, 323 in season 2. His average this year, 44.33. So what can Fu do? Oh, a call, and nope. it looked from here, it was a huge appeal, and a big kick of the foot there that raised a fair bit of turf, a fair bit of the pitch, and some discussion with the umpires afterwards, but I don't think anything's going to come from that. But that ends the over. And at the end of 12, the Philadelphians are 65 for 5. Kareem Agor is set to continue for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers as we finish off going around the grounds. We head out west now in the Central Division as Gore. There's a loud appeal, mostly from Rao, but not heeded by umpire Mihir Patel. The Chicago Kingsmen and Michigan Cricket Stars, that game was rained off. Clipped through mid-wicket for a single. Prashad goes to 28 for 31. Bring Foos a strike. So in the Pacific now, the Cricket Stars will finish second, as we mentioned. So it looks like they'll get the bye into the, basically they'll be in the, they'll face the winner of whoever finishes third and fourth. And we'll look at that in a moment because it's the Lone Star Athletics and the Houston Hurricanes. Cut away by Jonathan Fu, and he is on the board. 67 for 5. 66 for 5. No, it is 67. I was right. Defensive shot by Prashad. No run. So with that rain out, the Kingsmen are on 11 points. The Giants are done. The Dallas X-Florian Giants are on 11. If the Lone Star Athletics beat the Houston Hurricanes, as that one has gone out, and they'll take another run off of it. If the Lone Star Athletics beat the Houston Hurricanes, there will be a three-way tie, and I believe that will come down to net run rate. Good defensive shot played, hopped over the wicket. And that ends the 13th over. We'll finish our thoughts on the out-of-town scores in just a moment. 13 complete, Philadelphia 68 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So continuing our quick look around the grounds, the Lone Star Athletics, the Houston Hurricanes, 130 for 7. And in reply, the Lone Star Athletics after 9 are 67 without loss. Touched away by Prashad, and another run for him as Sonny Patel comes in to finish his bowling afternoon, having now given up 13 runs off of 3.1 overs. Reverse sweep by Jonathan Fu, but right into the hands of Junaid. Junaid Aziz. And that ends Jonathan Fu. And tried to get a little cute, I think, did Jonathan Fu here, but right down his throat. Junaid Masood. So 69 for 6. So Sunny Patel takes his second wicket, and here's Sivaram Swarna will come in. And he comes forward. They're going to have to hurry to take a run off of this if they do. And to the vacant backward square position. So after 4 Philadelphians were dismissed at the crease, 2 catches, Gore catching out Nanan and Masood Nadir catching out Fu. Prashad defends. A well-caffeinated spectator. Oh, there's a call, and nope. That one, I think from here it looked like it may have clipped off the top of the bat. They're saying that they're claiming that they may have gotten some leg in that, but Prashad stays alive. And Prashad, again, that controversial call, we thought initially it may have been a catch, but was given not out. And another LBW appeal, but another one turned down by Colin Edwards. 14 overs in the books. The Philadelphians are 70 for 6. Quick look out west, where the Seattle Thunderbolts are trying to hang on and defend their championship as Gore comes back in for his 3rd over and Prashad promptly takes a run off of it. The Thunderbolts 162 for 5. I think they have to hold the Grizzlies to 140 or less. That one, good ball by Kareem Gore as that sails by Prashad. I think that is the math that Joe Hickey had come up with, and I know Tim Lowell had come up with a number of had come up with some permutations as well. The Thunderbolts trying to eke their way into the 3rd place position at a wild card spot. A sweep attempt that went for absolutely nothing. And a good job by Marshall backing up Rao. Was given as a wide, however. 72 for 6 and a dot ball for Prashad. Loved watching Kareem Gore play when he played for the Philadelphians. Still do as well. He brings such spirit and a good spin attack. Clipped off the bat to the offside, backward square. 2 more balls left in the over. Prashad opens things up a bit and strikes that one well. Picks up another single. 31 from 43 for Prashad, who really has been the foundation. I think he's really been sort of the keystone. That's the word I was looking for. Comes forward and watches that one sail past the bat. 3 off the over from Kareem Gore. He's given up 10 in his 3 overs of work. 5 overs to go. The Philadelphians are 73 for 6.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So Prashad will get the strike back. 31 from 43 for him. As we mentioned, the Philadelphians will be one of 4 teams. They'll join the Atlanta Lightning on in the Atlantic Conference group of the Super 8s in Texas. Right down to the man at mid-wicket. Off his pads from Zafar, who is 1 for 7. And this is third over. Zafar has bowled well. It's been an overall pretty good bowling attack, but a good balance by the Philadelphians, and Prashad really has been the linchpin of that. Comes this one in the air. Oh, nice one-handed perler. And just as I said that, Prashad will go off of a nice one-handed catch by Zafar. Caught and bowled. Little chip job over the top. Zafar backpedaling. Yes. Who needs a glove? As Zafar takes the catch. A nice one, too. And that is the end of Deveshwari Prashad, who leaves as the top scorer in the Philadelphians innings. He goes for 31 from 45, 2 4s, 2 6s. The Philadelphians now 73 for 7. See the delivery, and here it is again. Eyes on the ball the entire time, kids. That's how you do it. And reached up and just plucked that out of the air, just like he was jumping up and grabbing a lemon. And One-Eyed Drysdale, who we have not seen since September 2nd, when he pulled a muscle actually bowling. He had taken a wicket, and then 2 balls later had pulled up, and he had to be replaced. It was in the last over against the New England Eagles. I'm sorry, it was against the Empire State Titans. It was the first game. So good to see One-Eye back. He's struggled with injuries since coming over from the Philadelphians the last 2 seasons. Wrapped on the pads, big appeal, but umpire Colin Edwards says nope, wasn't in line. Four good balls from Zafar. 73 for 7. And that one is steered away, and Drysdale is off the mark. That spoils Zafar's bid for a wicket maiden. 1 ball left in the 16th over. And now Swarna is back. Comes forward, stumping attempt, but not forward enough. Great over from Zafar. He takes a wicket off, a catch off his own bowling, gives up 1 run in the process. At the end of 16, the Philadelphians are 74 for 7.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Kareem Agor will come in to finish off his bowling. Steered aside by Drysdale, no run. Sunny Patel was the first player to reach his 4 overs. He finishes at 2 for 14. on the pads, but going down leg perhaps. No run. Gore working quickly. The wind's starting to pick up and the clouds starting to blow in a little bit. Chipped up in the air. Gore is there. Gore takes the catch. Another caught and bowled, and this time it's Karima Gore. His second catch of the day, his first wicket. And One-Eye Drysdale's return to the crease lasts all of 5 balls. 74 for 8. Gore with a length spin here, and that one just chipped up in the air. Gore in stride to his right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Philadelphia now 74 for 8. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers in good shape. So A.J. Muhammad, Abdul-Jabbar Muhammad will come in at number 10. And if you're just joining us late, the Philadelphians, they won the toss, electing the bat. And again, this is a pitch that it doesn't seem to favor those who decide they want to bat first. The last 5 teams to pick that out, to make that selection, have lost. Captain Jonathan Fu making the decision that that's what he wanted to do, and here they are. Stumping attempt by Rao, another former Philadelphian, besides Karima Gore. So this is, in baseball terms, the battery, so to speak, the bowler and the wicketkeeper. No run. Good bowling from Karima Gore, who he's now 1 ball away from a wicket maiden. Decent-sized crowd building in the tent to our right. Fisted away, and there is the wicket maiden for Karima Gore. He finishes on 1 for 10 from 4 overs. Great day for him. See if he can match it with the bat in a little bit, but for now, with 3 overs to go, after 17, the Philadelphians are 74 for 8. We mentioned the crowd here at Mercer Park, and a few wearing Philadelphians jerseys. There's a couple more over to the other side of where the dugout is. I know there's at least one with it's Theron, who is here with a crew that travels and follows the team around. I've heard a rumor that they will be in Dallas for the tournament and the final, or at least the final. Zafar finishing things off here, having figures of 2 for 8 so far, and Swarna in with Mohammed. And first ball was a stumping attempt. High in the air. Is anybody there? Nope. It drops in. Great stop, though, in the deep, as he slid on through to the other side in Jim Morrison style. Yasser Muhammad, who went after it. And Yasser, who is very active in all aspects of the game, did very well to stop a 4. Big swing and a miss, though. A good comeback from Zafar. Saad bin Zafar. Let's see who they have left here. They have Shah, the captain, Adil Bhatti and Ganjanan Singh, who all have 2 overs remaining. So we'll see what Shah decides to do. 2 pacemen and a spinner. You can always go off the board to somebody who hasn't bowled yet, but I wouldn't see why they would want to do that. 3 balls left. Clipped. Thick outside edge, apparently. Two balls left. Swarna, more of a defensive shot, and it spins around to the onside. Good over from Zafar so far to finish out his maximum of 4. And this time he opens up and drives down the ground, and he hits it over everything. So Swarna breaks up all of the tension there with a massive 6 out near the roller to finish off the 18th over with a flourish. 1 step to his left, and you would think that would cross up a batter, but no such problem for Swarna. Well, that ends the 18th over, and the Philadelphians move to 82 for 8 with 12 balls to play. So 2 overs left, and we mentioned about the possibility that they would go off the board to somebody who hasn't bowled yet, and it is Nadir. Junaid Nadir. And a hit to third man, and that might have enough juice to go all the way for 4. But in fact, it was stopped. And perhaps on a thinner outfield, that does scoot away for 4. But A.J. Muhammad got a fair bit of that from behind. And he's off the mark with 2. So 2 more overs to bowl, and it'll be interesting to see if they stick with Nadir or if they go with somebody else. But he'll continue from the dog park end. High in the air. Nice catch by Kareem Agor. My goodness, he has hands made of down feathers. That is his 3rd catch of the day. And Gore, right in front of us, went to his left and caught that one neck level. And thus ends Abdul Jabbar Muhammad. He's out for 2, and now Philly down to their final wicket with 10 balls left. And Nadir picks up his first wicket. The Philly fans have not lost any of their zeal or excitement, even though their team has had a rough go at it on this pitch. And Saurabh Islam will be the last man in, as Nadir will try and end things quick, fast, and in a hurry. Big swing and a big cut taken by Saurabh Islam. It was interesting that they had Garanchu Sharma, who they had moved him up. And Darbar, who is... Darbar's in the lineup. That one clipped, thudded off the bat near the pads. And Saurabh Islam is off the mark. So the question will be, How close will the Philadelphians get to the 100? And that one is cut a thick top edge to the outside, to the offside rather, and they'll get another run off of that. So Swarna goes to 11. And 1 ball left in the 19th over. The Deer bowling pretty decently. And for the Philadelphians, who have defended lesser scores on this, we talk about 51 all out against the Manhattan Yorkers last month and bowling them out in turn for 38. And perhaps a season-defining win that have put them in a position to where they've won the Eastern Division Championship. That one is hit in the air, but it's taken, and that'll do it. And Sorapol Islam gets a thick top edge and hit the backward square, and thus endeth the Philadelphian innings as they are bowled out. Nice catch taken to the left there. And the Philadelphians are bowled out for 86. And it is Kennard Lewis who puts the final nail in the coffin. So for the Philadelphians, a shaky start. The middle overs got a little bit better thanks to Devashwari Prasad's 31. Ryan Scott was dismissed early. Garanchu Sharma in an opening role couldn't get more than 1. Mario Ramprasad played well until he was dismissed by Zafar for 13. Jonathan Fu was kept quiet. He only had 1 run. And with 4 extras, 86 all out with 6 balls remaining. A great job by the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers in what will be their final game of minor league cricket season 2023. And as we look at the bowling figures, 4 players had 2 wickets. It is Junaid Nadir, who went 2 for 4 in his 1 over. He is the top bowler. Sunny Patel 2 for 14. Gajanan Singh with 2 quick wickets as well. So the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers will have a target of 87 to finish out this campaign on a victory. Can they do it, or can the Philadelphians get 1 more win to send them off to the Super 8 playoffs in Texas? Those questions will be answered when we return from the break. We hope you'll return as well when we return for the run chase. You're watching the 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship here on the MLC Network. Moment of these 2 teams. And that's it. And Sharma has been bowled by Shah. It just up. So much for dealing with Ryan Scott. He dealt. And this one is driven well by Ramprasad, and this one's going to find. Oh, I got him. That was a foolish ball, and Ryan Scott was not batting expertise. And there is another one. That's another one, and Liam. That one is hit in the air, the cry for catch, but it's over the drawn-in infield. And it will, did it make it to the... Laced with power all the way to the boundary for another 4 for Mario Rapp on the score bug there. Oh, that one is hit high and deep, and nobody's even going to... Bashwat again. This time he goes down with another sweep. And this one's in the air. They're claiming the catch. Did he get it? He did. Armball got him. No doubt about that one. Mario Rappers. That one is hit well by Nanan through the air, and it's gone for a maximum. And Raj Nanan joins the party. He doubles his score. Herman, who joins the Atlanta Lightning, as a catch. Reverse sweep by Jonathan Fu, but right into the hands of... Comes this one in the air. Oh, nice one-handed perler. And just as I said that, Prashant chipped up in the air. Gore is there. Gore takes the catch. Another caught and bowled. And this time he opens up and drives down the ground, and he hits it over everything. So Swarna breaks up all of. And hit to third man, and that might have enough juice to go all the way for 4. But in fact, high in the air. Nice catch by Karima Gore. That one is hit in the air, but it's taken, and that'll do it. And Sorapol Islam gets a thick top edge and hit the backward square, and thus endeth the Philadelphian.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
And welcome back for the chase here at Mercer Park. We won't get Rockapella to sing the chase, but they should. And it's the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers as they take a look at the 11 men who will make up the resistance, the counterattack, whatever you want to call it. They need 87 runs to win the game from 120 balls. That is the equation. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers eliminated from playoff contention thanks to the victory earlier on of the New Jersey Stallions. The Philadelphians, who know that they will be headed directly to the Super 8 stage in Grand Prairie next week. And here we go. As Janoy Drysdale gives up a run off the first ball. Xavier Marshall is out there with Kennar Lewis. Xavier Marshall, originally from St. Anne in Jamaica, 37 years of age, plays for the USA. That was Lewis who got off the mark, and it is Marshall now who is standing right in front of us as Drysdale continues. Fought away. There's a huge mix-up there, but there was nobody at the non-striker's end. And Lewis perhaps getting a little lucky there that there was nobody waiting for a chance at the stumps. Well, that could have been a very, very difficult situation early on in this run chase. Kennar Lewis on the other side, just turned 32 last month. Another Jamaican. Chopped into the ground. He'll take a run. Yep. So Marshall off the mark. 2 runs on the board. Lewis, who has played with the Jamaica Talawas. He's also played for the Candy Warriors in Sri Lanka, the Chattogram Challengers in Bangladesh. He did play one season with the Trinidad Tobago Red Steel, a team that's now known, of course, as the Trinbago Knight Riders in CPL. And he, a very stirring figure at the crease. That one is driven down the ground, and that is the first boundary. No, it did stay in play. He hit that about as far as you could without it leaving, and I think even he was confused as to how on earth that stayed inside the oval. And so he goes to 2, and they only took 1 off of that. He kind of turned around and went, huh? So 2 very experienced batsmen to kick things off here. And we'll see how fast they accelerate. That one is in the air, off the hands of A.J. Muhammad, and goes behind. And they'll take 2 from that. Well, Muhammad, in CeeLo fashion, wished he was a little bit taller. He wished he was a baller. But he did good just to rise high and get his thumbs to that. And so Marshall takes a deuce. Marshall drives again. They will get 1 as he drives too long off. Good over to start with. They get a run of ball at the end of the first. Chasing 83, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are 6 without loss.
What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Ranchu Sharma in your picture. A pretty big pickup for the Philadelphians this season to help lead them to the divisional title. As Raj Nanan will now complement Drysdale, bowling from the dog park end. You see the posterior of one Liam Plunkett. Take a look at the numbers for the two guys in the middle right now. Kennard Lewis, his first season in minor league cricket. Two centuries, 50 and 52 in back-to-back games. High of 52, 175 runs so far. Strike rate of 135. And that one is lifted well and lifted away for a maximum out into the parking lot. And shows why I parked in the second row and not in the first. And on with that dancing style and Marshall said, yeah, sure, great. Here's 6 runs. Doink. So a maximum, and that takes him on to 12. Again, this time it's cut away, but a good stop there. This time by Dev Prashad. See Jonathan Fu standing behind Kennard Lewis. As Nanan comes in again, there's a shot and he's gone. Raj Nanan gets some LBW, and Xavier Marshall will have to go for 10, and a big breakthrough early on, just as it looked like the X-Man was going to slash and dash his way to a big score. Raj Nanan sends him on his way. And the Somerset Cavaliers are 12 for 1. Big early breakthrough for Philly. And for Raj Nanan, there it is, clipped him. That he absolutely knew, no doubt about it. Doink. There it was, and the celebration is on. And so for Raj Nanan, his 24th wicket in minor league cricket and his 10th of the season. So a big wicket in the power play in just the second over, and here comes Yasser Muhammad. Xavier Marshall yesterday was 20 not out. Him and Sonny Patel teamed up for a 64-run game-winning partnership when all looked lost when the Cavaliers, who were 3 for 4 in the 5th over. What a massive comeback that was. Unfortunately, it all went for naught in terms of making the playoffs, but that's something they can take forward. Yasser Muhammad batting from the left side. Nanan round the wicket. Clipped behind the stumps, no run. So Yasser Muhammad. Previously with the Manhattan Yorkers. In on the hands, and he had to fight that one off. No run. Good bowling by Nanan after giving up that massive 6 to Xavier Marshall. Muhammad yesterday was bowled by Desai, by Nisarg Desai on his second ball for a golden duck. Or it would be a duck, not a golden duck. And Kennard Lewis was caught and bowled by Desai for 1. Driven to the offside and stopped after they take 1. Good job by Raj Nanan after surrendering an opening ball 6. He comes back, gets the wicket of Marshall, gives up one more run. At the end of 2, chasing with 74 more needed, the Somerset Cavaliers 13 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So we continue here, the 3rd over. And it will be Yasser Muhammad who will keep the strike after getting a single. One slip in, that's Ryan Scott. As Wanoi Drysdale opens his 2nd over with a wide. The final day of this minor league cricket season, bar the one game that's happening on the West Coast tomorrow between Silicon Valley and East Bay. That game will not have an effect on the final standings, as the Empire, or rather the East Bay Blazers, have won the Western Division, and the Silicon Valley Strikers will finish 2nd no matter what. And it is given as another wide, so Drysdale has come out wild here in his 2nd over. A little bit of the rust, perhaps, at least in terms of bowling here, in terms of bowling in league play. And we mentioned Drysdale, how he is last year. He struggled with injury, only played in 8 matches last year for the Philadelphians. That one is carved over mid-wicket, over square, beg your pardon, and they will come back for a couple. And just out of the reach of Dev Prashad once again. And 2 more to the total off the first legal ball, and Yasser Muhammad goes to 3. One-Eye Drysdale last season took 7 wickets in 8 matches. He's taken 3 so far. Looking for his first today. Got him, and there it is! He finds that first wicket. Completely makes a mess of the wicket and the stumps. And Yasser Muhammad is clean bowled. Oh, that was filthy. That was some filth from One-Eye Drysdale. He has his first, his 4th of the season. The 2nd wicket falls, and the Philadelphians have now pinned the Cavaliers at 17 for 2. What a ball from One-Eye Drysdale. That, again, the personality of this pitch. It seems like if you can bowl anything sort of that Yorker, that back of a length Yorker length, there is no bounce to it almost whatsoever. It stays low. And some of the batters have picked up on it, some of them have not. But again, the way that that everything kind of moves in motion, and you have to make that split-second decision. What direction you're going to hit, that sort of thing. And so now the Cavaliers, with Gajanan Singh now coming to the strike. And Kenar Lewis, though, still working on the other side. He is capable of putting up a big score, and especially in a relatively short chase. So Drysdale with a wicket. He still has 4 more balls this over. Clipped off the legs. And they went back to try and get Lewis. I think it hit bat. They were hoping to get an appeal there saying that it hit off the leg. But it's a dot ball all the same. Wide, 2-wicket dot. It's one of those bumpy innings, bumpy overs rather, from Drysdale. Clipped again off the legs. They'll take one, and one only. Raj Nanan running in from deep square to cut that off. 2 balls left in his third over. 18 for 2. Again, the target is 87. And this game will not move the needle in terms of the 3 teams playing postseason cricket. As you look at the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, a team that has fought valiantly this year. But in the end, trying to finish with a winning record. That one goes behind Kenar Lewis, so it'll be given as the 3rd wide of the over. And One-Eye Drysdale needs a compass or some sort of directional device. And how he's bowled so far in this 3rd over, which now is going to require no fewer than 9 deliveries. Off the pad, there's an appeal, but no, as umpire Colin Edwards started walking backwards, and as soon as he did that, you know that nothing was forthcoming. There is Mr. Edwards. Now one more ball coming in to Kenar Lewis. Down the ground, and they'll get 1 off of this. So Drysdale, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 runs, but a wicket, and a big wicket in Yasser Muhammad. And at the end of 3 complete, it's the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers 20 for 2. If you've been following us all day here at Mercer Park, you know that it was sunny this morning, and now you've seen the clouds roll in, and I've just had a look at the radar, and I will tell you that there seems to be a system heading in our direction. So we might have to go off here, depending on how quickly the rain goes in. Meanwhile, Lewis comes to the strike and taps that one down. He thought about going and had to scamper back, and he does. Watching a man this size scamper back is a little humorous. But then again, I'm sure I would look humorous in my own right. Nanan continues, having given up just 1 run. Oh, swatted away and into the gloves. Tried to swat that one away. I said 1. He's actually given up 7. I can read, right? And that one is carved away. But it stopped. Oh. All I saw was the ball stop. I didn't realize whether or not he had it. He got both hands on it. A good job by Sivaram Swarna. And this time it's down the ground. And it's away for 4, and we heard Garanchu Sharma groan in front of us because he knew that was a 4 right off the bat. Good job by Kenar Lewis going down and getting that one, and 1 bounce and 4. So Lewis on the 7 now. Goes again. This time he more of a push defensive shot. Good ball by Nanan. A little bit shorter, but Lewis not sure what to do with it. 1 ball left. In the 4th over, Cavaliers still needing 63 runs off the final 16.1 overs. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it, but decided against it. Nanan surrenders the boundary, and that's it, and that's all. At the end of 4, chasing a target of 87, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are 24 for 2. So we'll see Swarna for the first time. In this match with Gajranan Singh and Kenar Lewis. And we mentioned the rain coming through. We don't anticipate, I don't know that it'll wash the game out necessarily. You never can tell, but finish that in a second. Jake swinging a miss, no contact, on through to the keeper. We'll tell you that once they complete this over, the game will be official. If it does rain to the point where either the game has to be stopped or we lose overs, it'll be decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method. And if you're not familiar with cricket, that's a mathematical formula that takes in the fact the number of overs played and the number of wickets remaining. Pushed forward by Singh, they'll take a run. He goes to 2. 25 for 2. So that is how that is. And in order for a game in cricket to be considered official, at least a T20 match to be considered official, both teams need to have batted 5 overs. And the Philadelphians, of course, having already completed a full innings. It's almost like a ratio in a sense, but it does take into effect the number of overs played and the number of wickets taken. So it's not like a pure net run rate ratio. There is a little bit of intelligence, so to speak, and a little bit of dynamicism. Of course, as I say that, making sure my laptop is positioned under the tent. Just making sure my laptop is positioned somewhat under the tent. Back to the bowler. Good over so far from Swarna to start things off for him. And the Philadelphians have fought back well here. And we talked about this is the last, as we get near, the Philadelphians were 27 for 3 at this point. And that one is hit well down and will 2 bounce over past the chasing Ryan Scott. And a 4. And there's the first blemish from Swarna. And that one was pulled nicely. And pulled well by Gajranan Singh, who now goes to 5. Now the Cavaliers ahead of where the Philadelphians were at the end of 5. And they still have 2 balls left in their 5th. Singh standing in from the left side. That one came back in, top edge down. He got a late start, but not there in time to try and get them at the non-striker's end. And Swarna beats out a single. Good running, good heads-up running between Singh and Lewis. So 1 more ball until this becomes an official game. And the Cavaliers being eliminated earlier today, playing for pride and hopefully a winning record. And Lewis watches that one dance over the top of his bat. And that's the end of the 5th over. Chasing 87 after 5, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers 29 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So the final over of the power play about to be bowled. And it'll be Sorapol Islam who will be running in from the dog park end. You see One-Eye Drysdale, who picked up that big wicket, although it was a very adventurous over for him. 3 wides, 2, a couple of ones, but then that big wicket of Yasser Muhammad. So here is Islam to bowl for the first time today. Thick edge off the top, goes the third man. Going to be close with a direct hit, but not accurate. And Singh gets another run. 30 for 2. We'll take a look in a couple of minutes at the DAFA around the grounds. And a couple of games rained out. We're hoping that this one is not rain affected, but it looks like it might be, depending on looking at our radar. Islam will continue. Cut away. Again, they're going to have to hustle, and a direct hit would have made things a little bit interesting, but Lewis gets across. Another run to the total, 31 for 2. 56 required off the final 14.4. You see the required run rate, 2 runs below what they are churning out at the moment. And that one is hit well, and that's going to go all the way for 4. So Gajanan Singh is swashbuckling his way through this innings. And that one was pulled right in on his belly button. And he turned it around and sends that one off towards the garage. But didn't have enough Sunoco fuel to get to said barrage. See what I did there? So 35 for 2, 52 now needed. When Singh sets up again. This time he dabs it to the offside. No run there. Yeah, a lot of things happening across minor league cricket in this final, as we said, the final full day of the regular season. We've had a couple of games called off because of the rain. We, of course, had the situation with the double forfeit, or rather the, forfeit of 2 games up in Schenectady this weekend. Clipped in off the legs down the track, and they'll get another run off of this. 36 for 2. Gajanan Singh goes to 12, and here's Lewis once again to face the final ball of this over from Sorapol Islam, who's given up 7. And of course, the wild card round next week, the 2nd and 3rd place teams will play off, and in the case of the Central, it'll be a double playoff. The 4th place team will play the 3rd place team. The winner advancing to play the 2nd place team. So all 4 wild card winners will join the 4 division winners, which have already been decided. The Philadelphians, the Atlanta Lightning, the Dallas Mustangs, and the East Bay Blazers will all know that they won't have to go through that wild card nonsense. They're going straight to Texas to take part in the Super 8s. We'll be joined by those 4 wild card teams. Final ball of the over. Big swing, no contact. And Islam only gives up 7. Other than that, 4 was a good inning for him. That's the end of the power play. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers chasing a target of 87. They're 36 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
All right, let's go around the grounds for Dafa News and tell you, as we mentioned that the 3 teams have been locked up in the Eastern Division. The South Division, it looks like it was locked up, but we now know that the Morrisville Raptors, they tried to play down in Fort Lauderdale. And here is Liam Plunkett for the first time bowling from the Edinburgh Road end. We see him and his pace come in. That game, they got 14 overs into it. The Raptors were 109 for 2 before the rain forced them off, and they were unable to continue. So it will be the Fort Lauderdale Lions in the playoffs for the first time, a wild card playoff against the Atlanta Fire, the defending Atlantic Conference champions. The winner joining the Atlanta Lightning in the Atlantic Conference Super 8s round-robin playoff. We see the bench of the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, who will unfortunately not be participating. Plunkett comes in. He just got a battle on that. They are going to get a run, and Nanan with a decent peg at the stumps, but just to the left. Probably wouldn't have gotten him anyway, but good effort. Lewis takes another run, 38 for 2. In the Central Division, the Chicago Kingsmen and Michigan Cricket Stars were rained out, so they split the points. The Lone Star Athletics defeated the Houston Hurricanes by 8 wickets with 13 balls left. And it was a good effort all around. Nitish Kumar, 39, top scoring. That was a big swing, and he swung over it. He almost looked like a whirling dervish, did Ganjanan Singh, trying to go after that. That last ball, by the way, a leg by, so it won't go towards Lewis's total. Still 38 for 2, 6.5 overs gone. So a look at the standings. With all 10 games done, it will be the Chicago Kingsmen and the Lone Star Athletics playing for a right to play the Michigan Cricket Stars in the wild card final. Tapped to the onside, and they'll take another run from this. Singh goes to 14 from 14. He's a run a ball. The Cavaliers just under a run a ball, 39 for 2. 2 balls left. So the Mustangs had already clinched a spot, so it'll be the Kingsmen and the Athletics. The winner will play the Michigan Cricket Stars, and the winner will go to Texas. The one game in the Western Division was the Seattle Thunderbolts the defending champion Seattle Thunderbolts trying to make it back to the playoffs against the Golden State Grizzlies. And that one, I'm not sure what that was, and I don't know that Liam thought either, and that was given as a wide. We'll talk about Plunkett in just a moment in his season, but he's really given a lot to the team off the pitch, which is very important. But the Seattle Thunderbolts set a target of 163 for the Grizzlies. And that one is hit down the ground. That one is high and deep and gone for 6. So he takes Liam Plunkett downtown. Didn't even have to move his feet. All power, all strength, and all gone. A massive 6 from Kennard Lewis. And that makes the target a little bit closer, and Plunkett will have one more ball here. And this one is dabbed to the offside by the field. It's going to be, they're thinking about 2. They're going to take 1 out of it. And they're essentially ahead by a pretty large margin here. There's no reason to stretch it. A big over off of Liam Plunkett that sees them add 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the total. 7 complete. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers 47 for 2. So 7 overs gone, and the sky's getting a little bit more foreboding here at Mercer Park. Just to finish off, the Seattle Thunderbolts, they set the Golden State Grizzlies a target of 163. They did keep them to 154, winning the game. However, that wasn't enough in terms of the net run rate to make the playoffs. So we will have a new champion. It'll be the Golden State Grizzlies who advance, and they'll play the Silicon Valley Strikers in next week's Western Wildcard Playoff. And it's been a difficult year for the Bolts, of course, losing a number of players. We mentioned Fani Sahandri. We mentioned Andres Hoos. They've lost a couple of other players in the process. And this one carved away for a single. They're going to think about 2. They're going to take 2. Good running by Singh and Lewis, and they're building up a really good partnership here. As Sivaram Sharma, who gave up 5 runs in his first over. Now, we mentioned Liam Plunkett. And, you know, he was really bowling this year. It's been, for him, he's only taken 2 wickets this year. He's given up 5.58 in an economy rate. His strike rate, however, his defensive strike rate is 57. His first season with Philly, it was 23.6. His econ rate has gone down. It was just under 7. But it's been a rough go with the ball for Liam Plunkett. That one is clipped off the legs. Thought about it. Changed their mind. That, by the way, that wide by Swarno on the last ball brings up the 50 for the Cavaliers, and it happens midway through the 7th over. The Philadelphians got the 50 at the end of the 9th, so midway through the 8th, I should say. This one is chopped up in the air and caught. Rajnadan. And that's the end of Kennard Lewis. And Swarna gets the wicket, and Rajnadan took a couple of steps back and takes the catch. A trick of the tail, perhaps, in this one. He asked with a giant question mark. They're 50 for 3. Thick outside edge as he was swinging through his shins, and Rajnadan right there at square to take the catch. And they are 50 for 3. So a big wicket for Swarna. Big wicket for the Philadelphians. And that might change things a little bit. And again, we don't know. We're watching the weather here. And yeah, let's bring it up. Let's bring up the Duckworth-Lewis calculator just for kicks and giggles. So Swarna has his wicket. And here is a familiar foe. This is his first time facing the Philadelphians. Of course, the other game between these two teams earlier, scheduled for August 7th, was rain out. So here is Kareem Agor wearing the black and the green. Big looping ball that Gore carves, and it just gets by Surapal Islam. A little bit of a misfield there. It's going to cost him a run and an overthrow, but that won't add to the damage. But it got by Surapal Islam, so Gore gets off the mark. One ball left, should be in this 8th over. And cut to the onside, or dab to the onside. And another run taken. So, they get the wicket of Kennard Lewis, which is a good thing. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers in good position. We have one more ball left. 51 for 3. That one is hit to the onside, and they'll take another run from this one. So Singh still going at a run of ball. He's at 15 off of 15. And after 8, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are 52 for 3. So 8 overs gone. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers need 35 off of 48. Brian Barish here with you. Glad to have you along. This final day of the regular season in the 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. And it looks like Jonathan Fu is going to put himself in and have a bowl. A true all-rounder. He can bowl, he can hit, he can field, he can catch. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do all of that, and if you ask him really nicely, he'll open up your bottle of wine for you. And he'll face Ganjanan Singh with his first ball and a little bit of spin. And that one is whacked to the onside, and it's going to be all the way through 4-4. And so Jonathan Fu, who went in the last over of the game last year in garbage time and was hit about for more than 20 runs by the Manhattan Yorkers, perhaps here is just taking an over off of everybody else, but you know, he can bowl. But he gives up a 4 off the first ball from Ganjanan from Ganjanan Singh. Rather, it's from that's Kareem Agor. Okay. Second ball of the over. Fought off the fists of Kareem Agor. Back safely, and they'll take through another single. We checked the Duckworth-Lewis calculator at the end of 8 overs, and the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are comfortably ahead. So if it does get to the point where the rain does not allow us to continue, the Cavaliers are in a very comfortable position. But they only need 30 anyway. Went for the cut shot, did Gajanan Singh. No run. That is Gajanan Singh batting from the left side. That one is hit to the right side. They'll come through for another single. 58 for 3. They need 29 now off of 68 rather. Kareem Gore comes back. Jonathan Fu has gone for 6 in this over. Cut away, and again another run. So another run for Kareem Gore, who has gone, we think, to 3. I think there may have been a mix-up on your screen there, because this is definitely Gajanan Singh who is batting. We'll figure it out either way. On that one, a bouncer slapped down, and Fu thought he was going to have a chance to get it. They're going to get a run off of this, so a bit of a miscommunication. And Fu almost colliding there with Gajanan Singh. They have a little bit of a laugh about it. But either way, that's the end of the 9th over. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers need 27 from 66. They're 60 for 3.
What's up, Doug?
What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Here's A.J. Muhammad, who will take the ball for the first time. And facing Gajanan Singh. And that one is swung sweetly off the toes of Gajanan Singh. It goes to 22, we think. And it's 61 for 3 now. We'll see if Muhammad bowled yesterday, and in fact he did. He took 2 for 18 in 3 overs. And might be able to change things a little bit if he's able to get a wicket here. Down off the feet of Kareem Gore, but no run. The defensive target in Duckworth Lewis appears to be 6 wickets, if it gets to that. Down the ground and to the onside. They'll take 1, and Singh has to backpedal as he came about a quarter of a way down the pitch looking for the second. 62 for 3. 25 needed off of 63 balls. You see the run rate shrinking ever so quickly, and they're only going a little over a run a ball. Cut away once again, and this one is going to race towards the rope. Ryan Scott giving everything he can. I think he backheeled that one into play. Great job by Ryan Scott to get on his horse. That's 2 more runs, though, to the Somerset Cavaliers. They go to 64 for 3. And 2 more to the total of Gajanan Singh. Well, it may have only been 1, actually. I thought it was 2, and this one is hit down the ground, and Garanchu Sharma comes in to cut it off. Another run added to the total. One more left in the first half of this innings, and you can hear the applause to our right from the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers bench. They know they're in a good position. They need 23 off of... That was 2, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I was right. 22 from 61 rather. And this time he opens it up. Nanan is able to make the stop and prevent any more damage. Muhammad gives up 5 in the over. We're at the halfway point. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers need 22 runs to win off the final 60 balls. They are 65 for 3 after 10.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Gajanan Singh starts a new over from Jonathan Fu. And cuts this one away. It's going to be, they're going to the non-strikers end. And not able to get back in time was Gajanan Singh. He takes another run, so 21 now needed off 58 balls. But that's okay. The Philadelphians here, again, champions of the Eastern Division. They'll have about 10 days off, and then they'll open up Super 8's play as Gore cuts this one away. And that one is rushing all the way to the boundary. That's going to be kept in by One-Eye Drysdale. And 2 more runs to the total off the bat of Kareem Gore. And that takes him to 68. 19 required now. It will all be for naught for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, who will finish with a winning record as they play that one. Top ball. Plunkett makes the stop. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers finishing in 6th out of 7 teams in 2021 with a 7-8 record. Well, this one is whacked down. Fu sees it goes off of his shins. Well, that ends the over. He gives up just 3 off of it. The Cavaliers need 19 from the final 54 balls. After 11, they're 68 for 3. Abdul-Jabbar Muhammad will bowl from the dog park end in this 12th over. And Singh, or rather that's, that is Singh who opens up, and they'll get another run off of this. So 69 for 3. We mentioned in the last over that the Cavaliers had finished in 6th place. They finished 6th place last year with a record of 4-9. Ahead of the New England Eagles, and this year they'll finish in 4th place, assuming they hold on to the victory. That one in on the pads. Good ball by Abdul-Jabbar Muhammad. So still 69 for 3. But a good season for them nonetheless, and a little bit unfortunate not to make the finals. With, again, the situation, if you're perhaps just joining us, perhaps hadn't heard, Empire State Titans forfeiting both of their games against the New England Eagles this weekend, and that had put the Eagles in a position to where they did clinch a playoff spot today. And that one is hit well, and good job by Drysdale to stop that almost in self-defense. And long on, and restrict that to a single, so 70 for 3 now. They need 17 to win. 2 balls left in this Muhammad over. Muhammad has played well in his couple of seasons in Philadelphia. Good role player for this team. Well, that one is scoots along the ground, skitters across like a cockroach on the bathroom floor. Another run. 71 for 3. They need 16. So the Philadelphians, if this result holds, will drop to 6-2. That's what they'll finish, 6-2 with 2-no results. Still the best finish in history, and this one's coming right to us. Whoa, just to our left. A massive 6 by Ganjanan Singh. This one's by Kareem Agor. And Kareem Agor sent this one about 5 feet to my left. Almost had to go ducking. It was past Garanchu Sharma, and that's the end of the 12th over. They need 10 runs to win. After 12, the Cavs are 77 for 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
80 for 3 after 13. So you ever make a really nice speech and then realize you've been on mute? That's what I've just done. They're 80 for 3 after 13, and I just said something. So I'm going to say what I just said again. As Ryan Scott is going to have a bowl. Why not? And that one is cut to the near side. They need 7 to win, and that number stays at 7. I was saying that as Major League Cricket that has come into play this year and really has been an amazing success and really brought to light the community here in the U.S. They're looking for that one, but I think that may have been going down. I don't think that would have impacted the stumps. So another dot ball. But for the last 3 years, minor league cricket has been really something new and something special, not just for the players, but for many of us who follow the sport and want to see it succeed, as this one is carted to the onside, and it's going to be stopped nicely by Prashad after they take a single. 6 required. And for those of us in the community who really have embraced minor league cricket, not just because of guys like Liam Plunkett and Corey Anderson and Dane Pete, but a lot of up-and-comers, a lot of guys who've played local cricket who possibly never would have dreamed that they would have had the opportunity to play alongside these guys. And Gore slaps this one to the onside. They're going to get 1, and it's stopped in the deep. 5 required. A 6 will do it, and you would think that Gajanand Singh might want to do it. But it's also given an opportunity for those of us not on the field to really get involved in cricket. And they have the opportunity to work at the professional level as this one is slapped by, and Garanchu Sharma will stop it. So 1 more peeled off the target. They need 4. And, you know, to get a chance to work with guys like Lenny and Matachaibar and Nikhil Uttamachani last year, this one is driven back. Scott sees it goes by him, and it'll go for another run. And for me, somebody who's been following cricket for just 20 years, but just got in last season to get the opportunity to do it as part of minor league cricket and to be a part of this wonderful community, I'm really thankful. 14 complete. They need 3 to win. The Cavaliers are 84 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Well, the crew in the middle here are going to do their darndest to get this match in because we're starting to feel some raindrops. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers need 3 to win, and Kareem Agour will dab that to the onside. That's not going to happen on that ball. And the Cavaliers are going to win this game. They're going to finish with a 5-4 record with 1 rainout. And watch as this one sail wide. So our thanks to everybody who has brought to you this season. So far, it's not done by any stretch of imagination. We still have 1 game next week. The Stallions and the New England Eagles, as Gore clips this one to fine leg. They take 1. They're going to take a 2, and the scores are now level. So 1 run needed for the Cavaliers, who unfortunately, they're going to win this game. Unfortunately, it won't translate into a wild card berth, but they will take a winning record into the record books and their best finish, both in record and in position, in the Eastern Division. And for the Philadelphians, they'll have 10 days to rest. And then it will be Super 8s in Texas. And it's Kareem Gore who knocks home the winning run against his old team. And the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers have won this game by 7 wickets. And they have done so with 32 balls to spare here in Mercer Park. And that is that for the regular season in the 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers finished with a record of 5-4-1. And they have won over a Philadelphian side, which perhaps were trying a couple of new things today. They decided they were going to bat first, and for the 6th consecutive time, the team that has on this ground that has won and elected to bat has come out on the short end of the stick. It is Kareem Gore who finishes on 21 not out off of 22. Gajanan Singh, who took 2 in 1 over, who finishes on 30 for 35. And for my money, he's going to be your Lakshmi player of the game. As you look at the very happy New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, it's the end of their season for them. They'll be back stronger than ever in minor league cricket play in 2024. But for the Philadelphians, a disappointing loss, but you know what? They got that out of their system. They'll have some real fish to fry next week as part of the Super 8s. As we take a look at the scorecard for the sides, Gajanan Singh with 30. Devashwari Prasad is your game high with 31 off of 46. Nadir 2 for 4. Sunny Patel 2 for 14. Gajanan Singh 2 for 14 in those two wickets in the 2 overs. He bowled really well. And a good bowling, a good fight back in the early going, but you could tell the writing was on the wall relatively early for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. And here again is a look at the final standings in the Eastern Division, and this hasn't been updated yet, but here it is. The Philadelphians on 14 points are your winner. The Stallions finish in second with 12. The New England Eagles finish with 11. The Somerset Cavaliers also finish with 11. The Eagles, even though they have the inferior run rate, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and since the Eagles won the season series, it'll be they who play the New Jersey Stallions. So the Philadelphians will be joined by whoever wins that matchup next week, as well as the Atlanta Lightning, who won the Southern Division. It'll be the Atlanta Fire and the Fort Lauderdale Lions, who will play for the 4th spot in the Super 8s out of the Atlantic Conference. So that's just about going to do it for us. Our thanks to Omer and to Mohsen for putting, and everybody here who has put together today, not just today, but through the weekend. And we appreciate your company as well. And don't go anywhere next week because we have very, very important matches as part of the wild card playoff, not just in the East, but also in the West. You can find out more at minorleaguecricket.com. You can find us on social media, on Twitter at MILCricket and at MILC, just about everywhere else. For our crew, for our intrepid crew, and for the 420,000 people who have brought to you today's matches, this is Brian Barish wishing you a pleasant good evening. 135. And that one is lifted well and lifted away for a... As the non comes in again, there's a shot and he's gone. Hey. Got him, and there it is. He finds... 27 for 3 at this point. And that one is hit well down and will 2 bounce over past the chasing Ryan Scott. And that one is hit well, and that's going to go all the way for 4. Midway through the 8th, I should say. This one is chopped up in the air and caught. Rajnanan. And that's the end of a spin. And that one is whacked to the onside, and it's going to be all the way through 4-4. Still the best finish in history, and this one's coming right to us. Whoa, just to our left. And it's Kareem Gore who knocks home the winning run against his old team. And the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers have won.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.